Hello everyone, this is Vinay here from Learn Coding with Vinay, and we are into the video number 7 of our series where we are building movie ratings application from scratch using ASP.NET Core MVC 8, Dapper Micro RM, and ChatGPT as our coding assistant. Right? And this in this video we are going to look into CRUD operations for role entity and adding Bootstrap icon support to our project. So let's dive into it. So before we move on, let me tell you what I did in the background to save time. Let me log in as a admin. I just added, so I just linked this role to, I just linked this menu role to the controllers and action. So let me show you that. So let me bring the Visual Studio. So what I did on the controller menu, I added ASP controller role and index over here. And at the same time, I also added role controller and index view for role controller, right? At just to link it, just to just the menu to work, I added the controller and a blank index method, right? And a blank index view, right? So that is the reason this is working now, right? Now let's move to the prompt now. So let me bring the prompt onto the screen and let me read out for you. So I am telling that now let's work on CRUD operations for role entity. Right? Role entity has ID, role name is active, last updated by, which is user and ID column, referring to user and ID column, and last updated on. Right? Keeping project structure in mind, going forward, you can reply to my prompt in following sequence. I'm this we did last time also, but I'm again one more time I am reminding it, and then later on we will not remind this. Right? I'm adding this time as a reminder for rest of the development. I want you to remember this and generate response accordingly. So first step would be create required procedures. Second step will be based on the procedure, create required entity or model classes. Right. Provide infra interface code, then implement repository, then register the repository and interface to the program.cs, use repository into the controller class, and then last would be the UI razor page code. Alright, so this is how we want our code to be generated from ChatGPT. So let me go ahead and push it to ChatGPT. Let's go to ChatGPT now. So let me push that prompt to ChatGPT and let's wait. So ChatGPT has generated the response and let's say what it has done. So it has created first the insert SP. Okay, this is good. Insert, we need role name is active and last updated by. Okay, three things. Then we have the role update, ID, role, and last updated by. Okay, this also looks good. Role, delete role. Okay, no, this is not a physical delete. We will have to let it know that we are not physically deleting the record. It will be logical delete. Get all role. Okay, from role. Okay, get by ID. Okay, so this is this looks good, but here I want two specific thing. First is you know uh, we are not implementing physical delete. We will be implementing logical delete only by marking is active flag to 0. First thing. Second would be get all delete sp. Delete sp. Let me give it as delete sp. And then second would be get all sp. Let's bring last updated last updated by and last updated on columns as well. So let's see what does it do. Okay, so for update it is giving good. For last updated by, okay, it is bringing last updated by, but let me tell that, we should have join with user table to bring last updated by username. Let's say it is missing that. Let's do that. Okay, so now it has given us the good, you know SP. So let's go ahead and create the store procedure first. Okay, so let's create those store procedures. So what I did, I copy pasted the code from ChatGPT over here. Role insert. This one looks good. Okay, last updated by, last updated one would be get date. Okay, update when we are updating. Yeah, we'll update it this. So this is also good. Delete. Now we have logical delete. This is good. This is also good. And get by ID. Get by ID also we should bring last updated on or date. But that's okay, I think, because we'll not be updating those fields. They in, so these fields are actually not input. Those are kind of auditing column, right? So that we can build it in the background. So that's okay. It is not there on get by ID SP. Right. So let me go ahead and just run this F5. I am going to create all these stores here in one go. Okay, so we have error over here. Let's say, what do we have? Okay, I think it will require go everywhere. So let me, okay, now let me run this. Okay, it must says ID. ID is there. So let's try one by one. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so this got created. Let me try this. This also got created. I don't know what was wrong. I think it is missing the bracket. Ideally, it should have something like this. This. Then it would have ran in one go. Right. So which one we created this? Okay. So let me do this. Okay, we already did this. No worries. Let's this. This is also good. This is also good. And this one is also good. So let's try to run this at least the get all. Okay, so this is okay, this is good. And let's try to run this one with, let's say we want the first user. Okay, so this is also working. Let's say we want the second user. Okay, so this is also working. Great. So store procedures are created. Let's move to the ChatGPT now for the next step. Let me go up. So this step is done. Now we will be on the second step that says public class role. Okay, yeah, so we will have to create this entity. Okay, then we'll have to create this VM role. No, we will be using this only because we don't need VM. Why do we need this? Let me see, why do we need this VM role, ID role, and easy active? It is not bringing these two. Ideally, it should bring these two also. No worries. Let's see. Okay, repositories. Okay. Okay, for create we just need these three things, which is okay. For but how it has taken these, last updated by and all those things. Let me see it once. Okay, it is passing user ID separately. No, that's not a good idea. We should pass it as a entire one go only. So we will use role entity only over here because that's simpler one and we can use it directly. So let me do this. Let me create this role entity. So let me tell you what I did in the background. So I created this role entity, and which exactly matches our database table. Then I created this role VM. ChatGPT did not had this, it is passing user id at separately, but it is always better to keep everything in a one class, right? One model class. So I added last updated by over in the entity itself. And one more thing, in the previous response, ChatGPT provided view model names with VM at the end, and here it is provided VM at the first. So to keep consistency, we'll keep it at the first only. Sorry, last. Keep it at the end only. Because we have already done something over here. Let me just quickly. Yeah, okay. So login VM, right? So we'll keep this. Ideally, VM should be first, but I don't want to go ahead and change the work we did already, right? So we will instruct after we implement all this. We will instruct ChatGPT that going forward you give us this name, right? So we don't have to change lot many things. The idea of this all series is to use base ChatGPT in a best way, so that there is minimal work at our end. We just need to simply copy paste the code. Right. So let's see. Okay, so this is done. Now it is saying that let's create this repository and repository interface and repository. So let me do that in the background. Okay, so let me show you what I did in the background. Right, so I just added interface over here, I role repository, which has following methods, right? And wherever there was VM role, I did it role VM, right? And same thing I did it over here on the VM repository, sorry, role repository, and you know wherever there was VM role, I made it role VM, right? Okay, so these are all. This looks good now. This looks good. So let's move to the next step. And just as a reminder, you might get error for this role VM, this uh, dapper thing. We make sure to include them over here, right? Like I heard today, these models was not required, view models, system.data, dapper. Make sure you include all those required namespaces. Right, so this is good. Now let's say UI. Now let's say first. Now let's take the first only. That is, index page. Let's copy it. Let me go to the views, role. Let me go to index over here, and let me just copy paste over here. Okay, so we remove this, and this should not be VM role, it should be role VM, right? And it says role XN. Okay, role. Now ideally we should also display we should also display last updated by. So that would be last updated by would be our at the rate role dot last updated by. I think this will bring the number of that logged in user. Let me see what we did in role VM last. I think we should have this and this also. Let me mark it as string. Last updated by, this would be name, and we will have to take it over here as this. And let's see what do we have sp in stored procedure. What do we have? Get all, because we will have to match that name. Last updated by user. Okay, so let me make this user actually. User. Let me come over here and let me make it to user, right? So this looks good. No, this we will have to take a little up actually after this, and then and this is not actually. Let me make this only, Right, so this looks good. Okay. Okay, so let's go to, instead of running, let's go to the step. Okay, so it has edit. Okay. Well, it didn't have the create one. That is surprising. Okay, we'll get it generated from it later. But let's try to run this and see if the lists are coming up. So let me log in using admin. Yes, so I am logged in as admin. Let's go to roles and finger crossed. Let's see if it works in one go. So it actually generated error. Let's see where is the error. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah, we perhaps missed to add the controller code. So let's do that. Yeah, we did many things, but we missed to add the controller's code. Okay, so ideally, yeah, okay, this one. So we'll have to take this and replace this with. Okay, so this should be good now. Because we still have error. It says that interface repository while attempting to activate. Okay, I think we missed to add it into the program.cs. Let me go with the steps first with the. Okay, so this is good. I think those steps are missing from ChatGPT's response. No, no, it is there. I just made kind of hurry. So let me do that. So we'll go to program.cs, and for every entity, whenever we are working on any module, if we are adding a repository and interface, we'll have to register it over here in program.cs. Otherwise, it will not work. So let me run it again and let. So this time it worked very nicely. So it loaded. We can see the data. We have edit button, we have delete button, which is good. Role. So let me quickly improve few UI stuff. We'll keep the role list over here, but we'll take the role, add new role button somewhere over here, and we'll add icons in the button. Right. So let's do that quickly. So what we need to do is, let me go to index.html. Over here we have these two things, right? So what we will be doing, we will be adding a div with class as row. This is a usual practice which I follow actually. Not necessary, it has to be this way only. Class is equal to call and call 10, and we'll make the similar. This is a bootstrap grid. Every screen is actually divided into 12 part. So we are dividing it into 10 and 2 using bootstrap grid. And in the first one, we will take this. In the second one, we will take this, and we'll mark this as not h2, actually h4 or something, right? And this should be, and over here I'll put down one hr horizontal line, right? And I'll say over here. So let's see how does it look like. Yeah, so it looks good, but it is, let's make it little, let's make it empty too, so that it will leave two margin from above. That will look good. Let me make it empty 4 actually. 2 seems to be very less. Yeah, okay, so this look good. And the button seems very big. Let's make it BTN SM. Let's make it small. This one. Yeah, okay, now small doesn't look good. Let it be. I think small will look good in the over here. Yeah, okay. So if this is btn info, btn danger, this button looks good. But let me change the, if we can change the header color of this. Class is equal to table, table light. Let's say, what does it make? Yeah, okay. So this looks little good because the header is separated, so this is good. This looks good, right? Now the icon, let's place the icon. So for icon, what do we need to do is, we need to go to getbootstrap.com, click on icons here, right? So which is where we have a lot of icons, but to install it we will have to get it cdn, right? So let me go to the install link, and meanwhile let me open it to sad layout, because here is something we need to add. Okay, so we'll have to take this cdn and add it over here in our layout.cshtml, right? So once this is added, we can use the icons now. So what do we need to do? For create, we will say, let's say, the plus sign. Let me take the plus sign which looks, where is it? Plus within a circle or square would be fine. I think, yeah, this one, where it seems a page kind of thing. Let's move to next. Ah, yeah, this is good enough. This is what we want. And for edit usually we use pencil, right? So let's take this, and for delete it will be trash. So let's use this. So what do we need to do? Just go over here, copy this, and open the code, go to our index view, and before just add new, add it over here and apply a space, right? Then we'll go to pencil, copy this, and we'll add it over here. Then we'll go to trash, copy, and add it over here, right? So let's see how does it look like now. Okay, so plus seems good, this seems good, this seems good, right? So currently we have content which are very less, I mean, I would say very 1 2 3 and 4 column only, right? So you can use this big button, or otherwise you can ideally use the icon only. We don't need text. Let's say we don't need text. So if you are running out of space on your screen, then you can do something like this. So let's do this. Let's not keep the word, let's just keep the icons. So this will also look good, right? Let it be here, let it be, because here we have space, right? Usually on tabular structure we just use icons. So this looks good, right? Role list, new role, this looks good. Now let's go to ChatGPT and what it has done. Let me close other tabs, right? Now what we will be doing, so here we have the list, okay. Here we have the edit, okay. Okay, so let me create this edit view in the background and come back. Okay, so let me show you what I did. So I just added the edit view, and I think this time it is using edit view for create also, both. So let's see how it has used. Right, so this is done. Now let me go to the controller. Now over here we need to add the methods for edit and create. So what we will be doing, we'll go over here, we'll go to controller code. Okay, this is good. We only used this index, right? Now we need to use this edit, and let me take the delete also, right? So instead of vm role we will take role vm, So this is good. User ID it is taking from the ah okay. So let me see. We have copy pasted this edit and delete method. Let me save it, and it is you know HTTPS get user ID. Where get user ID? No, so this is not right over here. What we need to do, uh, because we have session already, right? So here we need to use session helper. We already have session helper dot get user. We will say, and here we need to pass HTTP context, right? Okay, dot ID. Hmm. So what's the problem over here? Let's see. Okay, let's do. So let me inform ChatGPT only on this, that we already have session helper. Can we use that? Let me see what does it come up with. Let me see what do we have. What do we have in session helper? So in session helper we have set user. Okay, we have get user, HTTP context. Okay, so it has to pass HTTP context. So let me see. The method looks like this. So it should give us this ESAP code how to call it. Okay, so let's try this. It has given this code. Let's try this. Okay, let's try this. What do we need to do? We will go to the edit method over here. Before even calling it, we'll use this. So this has to be user.id or one. Okay, what's the problem over here? Okay, let me remove this. We don't need it. It will be user.id. This will be user. No, ideally we don't need it. Just give me a moment, yeah, because we have updated by over here. Last updated by. Okay, yeah, because since we have this, we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this also, because that's what we need to assign, that model dot last updated by is equal to user dot id. That's what we should be using, right? But now it is giving error for the interface and repository, so we will have to change that. So let's we don't need this model and we don't need this, right? So we will have the error in the repository also. So if I go over here, yeah, we don't need this and we don't need this also. This one should be model dot last updated by, and similar way this one should be model dot last updated by. So I hope this is good. Let's save this, right? And let me quickly do one thing in the background. Okay, it is gone. Okay, no worries, let's continue. Okay, so this is good, this is good, and it looks good. Now let's run it and see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we are over here. Let's try adding new. So I have added debugger over here. Let's say F5. Okay, so it gave us error because, okay, yeah. So what is happening over here? ChatGPT gave us a code that can be commonly used between edit and create. However, I personally prefer we should always keep it separate just to avoid all this stuff. Now I will let you know what is the problem over here. Now on add when we click on add button, so it must not be passing the ID, right? Okay. So over here, no, right is 0, right? Okay. So what do we need to do? Then if we need to write condition over here that if id is equal to 0, then 0, then what do we need to do is, we will have to have the uh okay, let me see what do we have it over here. On edit screen, we'll have to see what was the model taken. Okay, role VM. So what we'll be doing, role VM, let's say role is equal to new new role, and role dot id is equal to 0, and here we will have to return this. And so it is creating problem because we have role at other place also. So let me say just rl, and here we will pass it as rl. Right, okay, good. So this is good. Let's run it. So I have logged in as a admin user. Let's go to role. Let's say add new role. Okay, it is coming. Let's say F5. Let's see what is the output. Okay, so it is giving us the box. Good. New role. I would say that's new role. It will be active. Let me say save. It is coming over here. Let's see what do we are getting. Sometimes it takes time. Let's say wait and watch. Yeah, so let's see what do we have. So we have the ID as 0 is active true. Okay, roll name is equal to this. Okay, this is good. Let me say F10. Let me move ahead from here. Okay, let me see if this is valid is equal to false. So what do we have? I think we'll have to mark username property user as, okay, nullable. Okay, I got this. So what do we need to do? Since we created the property this as mandatory, it is creating a problem, right? Ideally, while we are creating the role, the username is not required over here. We are just using it to display, right? So while creating, either we can have a separate role VM that does not have this, right? Or we can mark it optional so that is ignored while doing model validation, right? So let's go ahead and run this again. Okay, so let's try add new. Okay, so we'll take new role which is active. We'll say save. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is over here. Good. Okay, this time it is valid. Okay, it seems to be inserted. Great, new role. So add new role is working. Let's try to edit it. Add new role. I will say updated, and I'll mark as inactive. Let me say save. Let me remove this debugger this time. Add a new role, inactive. Great, done by me. Okay, great. So this is also good. Now let's try to delete this. Okay, yes, delete this. Okay, so it would have marked it as inactive only. Let me edit this, mark this active, because we are not physically deleting, we are just updating logical flag. So okay, so this is working. So new role got added with added edit and delete functionality, all are working fine, right? So however, I want to instruct chat gpt something that we face problem with, right? So going forward it can, treat our prompt accordingly. So first few things. Okay, now let me inform it that CRUD operations for role are working fine. However, I want few improvements. I have few improvements that we can do with future work. No need to provide code here, right? Then then let me say first would be name for view models would be name and VM, not VM name, right? Because that's how it did it in the first prompt, right? So it should be ideally VM role, VM user is a good choice, but since we have using user VM, role VM, so we'll continue with that, right? Second, for insert, you know, always return always return newly record ID, newly record ID. And third would be always keep edit and create methods and views separate, right? Because we face little problem over here. I always like to keep, things crisp and clear. So here we mixed here we mixed edit and uh, create new functionality in one razor page only, and in one method only, that is called edit. Ideally there should be edit get, edit post, create get, create post, and separate razor views for create and edit. That's how we should have built it. So I am just informing it. So request you to keep this in mind for future work. Right, let me push this. Okay, so by the time it generates, that's it about in this video. We successfully implemented role CRUD operations, right? The UI also looks quite good. Functionality is also working fine. In the next video, it will be an assignment kind of for the viewers. Whatever we did for this role, that you can follow it for other similar entities. That we will go over it quickly. Thanks a lot for watching this video. See you in the next video.